Choices abound everywhere. But when you're looking for a cozy, comfortable, luxury, and environment that will take you to the zenith of your expectations, A&T Residential Hotels is the place. The rooms are designed to be your home away from home. We have services, both bar, room, and kitchen are all 24 hours. We have an Olympic-sized swimming pool and our gym to keep your body fit. Our staff are excellent as they welcome you with royalty. Come shake your body as our nightclub opens every Friday with Asu Barbecue. Asuya joints available all day. We have a whole capacity of about 1,500 for your occasions. Welcome to A&T Presidential Hotels, Kilometer 5, Ilesha, Owo Expressway, Akure, Ondo State. Telephone 081-4633-5949 and also 1222-6282. A&T Presidential Hotels. Comfort and class redefined.
The Redeemers Men's Fellowship of the Redeemed Christian Church of God under Province 8 invites everyone to its 2025 RMF convention with the theme Destined for Greatness. Ministering our Pastor Ayo Ezekiel on the topic Destined for Greatness, Dr. Sunday Sadio on elder living in a time like this, and Pastor Matthew Ofulwe on wisdom for prosperity for men. The convention comes up on Saturday, 23rd August 2025 at 11 a.m. and Thanksgiving on Sunday, 24th August 2025 at 8:30 a.m. Venue is RCCG Kingdom Parish Auditorium, Obaile Housing Estate, Akure. Jesus is Lord. Assistant Pastor Oludarioke. Provincial Men's Leader, Pastor Shegun Iloye. PICP on the Province 8, Pastor E.A. Adeboye, General Overseer.
On the news tonight, stakeholders in Ondo State appraised President Bola Tinubu's administration. Federal government intensifies efforts towards employment opportunities in the country. Experts advocate sustainable fishery practices to boost the economy. Good evening and welcome to Nta Akure News at 7. I'm Ifeoluwa Moshule. The midterm assessment of the achievements of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration by stakeholders in Ondo State highlighted remarkable policy shifts, particularly improvements in agriculture, education and healthcare services. This was the view of speakers at a one-day sensitization campaign in Akure, Ondo State. Abiola Ariyo reports that the meeting was organized by Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation.
This midterm report on the renewed hope agenda under President Bola Tinubu afforded these eminent personalities the opportunity to evaluate and score the administration high in infrastructural development, security, social welfare, and empowerment programs for youth and women. The administration, they emphasized, hit the ground by taking robust and bold decisions aimed at transforming and repositioning the country for greater economic gains.
There are so many things out there that people are meant to tap into and benefit for, but just because na lie, propagandas and people having this little faith in the government, they don't really tap into. So we are here to say, see, this is happening. You people need to assess it. It's already, people are enjoying it. We need more people to enjoy it and partake.
The resource persons took time to highlight some salient areas of achievements, to include the quiet revolution in agriculture, healthcare, and the education sectors in the state. They cited the provision of 165 fodder choppers for farmers, upgrading of health facilities, and the establishment of federal teaching hospital in the state. Others are provision of NEL fund loans and grants to students.
Recently, the President approved 1.5 trillion to recapitalize the Bank of Agriculture. And the essence of this is to reposition the bank so as to improve access to finance.
The approval of free cesarean sections all over the country, then creation and expansion of cancer centers. If there is early detection, there will be early treatment, and there will be less or no mortality rates in the country.
NTA also got reactions from participants at the meeting.
Create an awareness for like up to 60% of Nigerians to go back to the soil, which is the farming system, which we used to be. There is no nation in this world that can survive without farming.
We have seen him doing a lot for the upliftment of the masses, for the development of our communities, especially raising the downtrodden up. And the policies that he has been putting up, we have been seeing the effect. Definitely such effect will not be a magic. It has to be bit by bit.
The sensitization meeting also gave room for questions and answers. In Akure, Abiola Ario, NTA News.
In a major move to strengthen aviation safety, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority (NCAA) has ordered that all mobile phones must be switched off completely during flights on Nigerian airlines. The DG NCAA, Chris Najomo, stated this during an emergency meeting of the National Civil Aviation Security Committee in Abuja. Ali Kabir reports.
At an emergency stakeholders meeting in Abuja, NCAA Director General Captain Chris Najamo announced that the era of airplane mode is over. All devices must now be completely switched off, particularly during takeoff and landing. The DG directed airlines to update their operations manuals and submit them for NCAA approval. Najamo said crew members must communicate the rule early, while passengers must comply. He warned that deliberate sabotage, protocol breaches, and unruly passenger behavior remain serious threats to aviation security.
Today's engagement is therefore going to address different aspects of the ecosystem: the regulator, airline security, airspace security, airport security, and of course, the traveling public, who do not only have rights, but have responsibilities.
The NCAA boss disclosed that mock security response exercise will soon be conducted in Lagos and Abuja to test preparedness, while security personnel and law enforcement will undergo training with stricter enforcement measures. NCAA Director of Consumer Protection and Public Affairs, Michael Chimugu, emphasized the need for airport security to step up enforcement, adding that safety overrides sentiments once you step into the airport or board an aircraft.
But contrary to media reports in these cases, unruly passenger behavior is not on the rise in Nigeria. Unruly passenger behavior has always been with us, not just in Nigeria. It's a global phenomenon as well. The only reason perhaps why this has happened in this way is because opportunity has met with the moment.
Stakeholders from airline operators, critical security agencies, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria (FAN), Nigerian Airspace Management Agency (NAMA), and National Assembly members reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening efforts towards ensuring safe and secure air travel in Nigeria. In Abuja, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
With a strong desire to create millions of jobs for the unskilled and unemployed in Nigeria, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to empowering the National Directorate of Employment (NDE) with the tools and support required to spearhead the mandate. Minister of Labour and Employment Mohammed Maigari stated this during an inspection of ongoing work at the new NDE headquarters in Abuja, expected to be completed by the end of the year. Joseph Otsen reports.
An edifice designed to accommodate huge responsibility. That's bridging the unemployment gap in Nigeria. The 7-floor story building was awarded in 2023. Now the two ministers of Labour are here to assess the progress made so far, with completion in sight and strong desire to move NDE headquarters to its befitting home. 3 out of the 7 floors are completed and ready for use.
The contractor is trying very hard to ensure that he meets our target. So I am satisfied with what I have seen, and so far so good. I do hope that the NDE will try to move in as quickly as possible.
The structure was initially meant to be a hotel forfeited to EFCC, who handed it over to the NDE. Its construction is supported by a federal government special intervention fund.
At least you had 90% of all your equipment as far back as last 2 years, and then it has taken 2 years to put this in place. I know that their problem is paucity of funds, and I know that we are going to work hard to plead with the authorities that funds shall be released for them to be able to complete. Because if you don't have any place to stay, how do you perform? Productivity will be very low. So I believe that once this office is completed, their capacity will, of course, we'll track it, will go 100% plus.
There are a lot of structural adjustment to the edifice, but certainly it will take the entire staff of ND. All the staff that we have in the headquarters will be adequately accommodated here. We will have enough to support our ministry, especially the 2 ministers.
NDE has been operating on a rented apartment for over 30 years. The management says occupation of the 3 completed floors will commence by next week, while construction of others continue. In Abuja, Joseph Hudson, NTA News.
The federal government has been urged to adopt sustainable fisheries practices to ensure food security for the present and future generations while creating wealth for fishermen and their families. The appeal was made by Senator Adedayo Adeyeye during the first distinguished public lecture of the Center for the Blue Economy and Innovation at Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology, Okitiwokpa, Ondo State. Ife Adeyemi reports.
The Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology, OSTEC, Okitiwokpa, Ondo State held its first distinguished public lecture of the Center for Blue Economic and Innovation. The lecture, titled Imperatives of the Blue Economy in Driving Nigerian Economic Development, attracted a large audience. In her welcome address, the director of the Center for Blue Economy and Innovation, Professor Funmi Agbebi, described the blue economy as more than a concept, emphasizing its potential in harnessing oceans, seas, rivers and lakes not only as sources of livelihood and trade, but also as ecosystems that must be preserved for future generations.
Share a common interest in the sustainable use of our ocean and aquatic resources.
Delivering the lecture, the guest speaker, Senator Adedayo Adeyeye, defined the blue economy as wealth-generating activities related to oceans, inland waters, and coastal environments worldwide. He highlighted the global impact of the blue economy, its role in Nigeria's growth, and the strategic importance of the country's marine assets.
Navigable inland waterways and rich marine biodiversity is uniquely positioned to harness this resource. Yet, despite these blessings, the sector remains largely underdeveloped. This trend propels the need for shifts in attention to sustainable use.
The event also featured an interactive question and answer session where participants engaged the guest speaker on various aspects of the blue economy. Some invitees received gifts, while the Vice Chancellor of OSUSTEC, Professor Temi Ologunrisha, commended the program, describing the institution as the only university in Ondo State accessible by air, land, and sea.
The lecture we are having today is part of enhancing what we call the town and gown relationship, what we call academics or university and industry linkage, because we need to interface with people in the industry. They are the ones that have made progress in the area of blue economy. So if this university is to become a leader in terms of the development of blue economy in the country, producing high-level manpower, then we need to bring captains of industries, in the area of blue economy to interface with us.
The lecture attracted dignitaries from across the country, including politicians, officers from the Nigerian Army and Navy, representatives of financial institutions, among others. From the main campus of Olusegun Agagu, University of Science and Technology, Ife Adeyemi, NTA News.
You are still watching Nta Akure News at 7. We shall be back in a moment. Please stay with us. You are welcome back. You can also watch us on our social media handles, Facebook at Nta Akure, YouTube at Nta Akure, and on X at NTA_Akure. The Nigerian Air Force has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening strategic defense cooperation with the Czech Republic as part of ongoing efforts to advance national security and regional stability. This assurance was by the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, while receiving the Junior Deputy Minister of Defense of the Czech Republic, Radka, and her delegation at the NAF headquarters, Abuja. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Heyman Ejodem, indicates that Air Marshal Abubakar describes the visit as a reflection of the long-standing friendship between both nations and their shared commitment to peace, stability, and the advancement of aerospace and defense capabilities. The Czech Junior Deputy Minister of Defense reaffirmed her country's readiness to broaden defense cooperation with Nigeria, stating that air defense is the backbone of national security and Nigeria is one of the biggest partners to Czech Republic. Looking to the future, both parties identified key areas of collaboration, including logistics and sustaining support for the NAF fleet overall, acquisition of MI series helicopters, capacity building for aircraft technicians, as well as advancements in aerospace engineering and unmanned aerial systems. And now to business news. Nigeria's oil worth 341,000 logged in undeveloped fields as custom tightens news on private jet owners. Let's join Carolina Akinlo for this and more on business news.
Over 3.5 billion barrels of oil and condensate reserves are locked in underdeveloped fields across different basins in Nigeria, according to reports in a publication by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. At the current average price of $65 per barrel, the reserves are valued at about $227.5 billion, translating to a staggering 341.25 trillion naira when converted at the exchange rate of 1,500 to a dollar. The 2025 budget has a deficit of over 13 trillion naira. The fiscal plan makes provisions for 13.64 trillion naira in recurrent expenditure, 23.96 trillion naira for capital projects, 14.32 trillion naira for debt servicing, and 3.65 trillion naira for statutory transfers, while projecting a deficit of 13.08 trillion naira to be financed through domestic and external borrowing. In another development, the Nigeria Customs Service is set to launch another round of enforcement against owners of private jets who have failed to pay outstanding import duties, following the expiration of a 1-month grace period granted through presidential intervention. It was also reliably gathered that the clampdown earlier this year resulted in the grounding of over 40 privately owned aircraft across the country. And that will be all on business news. Carolina Akinlo, NTA News.
Up next is sports update with Austin Idemodun.